Go. All right. This is Zoe Dune here talking with GiGi Van Studdiford. Hello, GiGi.
Hi,
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. You a fan of Friends?
Yes, why? Why do you ask?
How you doing?
I know. I love that show. Oh my gosh.
I'm
That's
trying to
such
do
a
my
good
I'm trying to do
show.
my best what's his name? Oh, now I can't even remember his name.
I know. Joey, I think.
Yeah.
Joey. Okay, you got it. Yeah.
Yeah. How you doing? I used to do it good. I'm good. I'm good. Like I posted recently about I came down with a cold. Everybody was telling me it was COVID. But I couldn't get the test yet. Everything is booked up around here, and you can't go to CVS or a pharmacy. This only schedule. If you were to look at the schedule today, it's it's already booked today, tomorrow, after tomorrow, and if they have a day after that, that's booked too. But they don't give you a schedule, a calendar for the rest of the days. So every time there's a new schedule, you gotta hopefully the luck of the draw that there's something open. Uh, but I don't have it. I'm sure that I don't have it. I feel that, you know, perfectly fine. What about you? Have you encountered any of this stuff?
Well, I haven't tested positive for COVID, but I got extremely sick twice so far.
Mm,
Once in December of 2019, and I got pneumonia and all the symptoms that they listed. But
uh-huh.
that was before it was in the news, right before though. So then it to me it seems a little suspicious
Yeah.
that it probably was is what I'm thinking, but I don't know. There's no way for me to confirm, I guess, without maybe if I did a blood test for the antibodies. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, it was really bad. Whatever I had in December of 2019. And then I got sick again in August of this year. And it felt the same, except I didn't get the pneumonia, but everything else was the same.
Hmm.
And I got this like ammonia fumes smell in my mouth, and everything tasted like chemicals. Like I basically lost my sense of taste and smell, and it was replaced with like this really intense, like horrible smell in my mouth and nose. And it would
Wow.
just stay there for like 3 weeks for both times. Yeah.
Are you a smoker?
No, no,
No.
I
Yeah,
know.
I had the similar situation as you did around the same time. In fact, Halloween 2019, a friend of mine, so I'm a after this is just a thing that I do outside of work. I'm a caregiver, and a friend of mine who I caregive for, she was like, "Let's get the fuck out of here. Let's go take the Amtrak." Right? So we found a I guess like a kind of like a setup where I'm in Dallas. So we would go from here, take the Amtrak all the way to Chicago, and then it would go down to New Orleans and then back again, you know. So we left on Halloween, made it to Chicago. I'd never been to Chicago before. What a beautiful city. That's a real city for real. And I was excuse me, I was running around where do they film Batman and this and that and just freaking out. Um, and then on the way back, we had a great time and everything. But on the way back, I remember, I think by Thanksgiving, I started getting like a real bad cough. There was a guy on the train who was coughing like, you know, it might as well have been like a zombie from The Walking Dead. He was sharing one of the coach areas that we were in, and of course, nobody wants to say anything. Everybody's trying to be nice, you know. But this guy is practically in our faces, just like, you know, just and almost seemed to have fun with it. Like who picked up the hobo, right? Anyway, I think I might have got it from that guy. By Thanksgiving, I got a cough that I could not get rid of, and it was one that I had never had before, and it took a while for me to get rid of it. Um,
Bless you.
Thank you. So I might have, like you've said, I might have had it too, but ever since um, up until last Thursday, I didn't have any kind of symptoms or anything like that. I did lose an uncle to it last on Christmas or December of 2020. And then a whole bunch of my family members started getting it. And as a caregiver, I can't take that back over to my friend. Unfortunately, where she lives in a senior, excuse me, a senior living facility. And our neighbors across the way, one of the husband's 80 years old, and his wife is incapacitated in a wheelchair. She's kind of got a motorized wheelchair, and she's got these, those legs that are just not functional at all. And he's had it, and I actually, when I went there earlier in the week to help out, I went over to their place because I needed help too, and he was in the back room with COVID. Wow. And today I learned that he's got pneumonia now, and now she's starting to feel sick. I don't know how this is going to turn out. I'm very concerned about it. And of course, now it's a matter of like, we're living in fucking science fiction times now, Gigi. I got the mask on, I got the gloves on. I'm like fucking Robert De Niro in Brazil with the thing. And every time I walk through the doorway, I got to decontaminate with Lysol spray. We might as well install valves around the door to blast it on me.
Whoa.
So it's just like, that's where we're at now. We didn't see this coming.
No. Yeah, I definitely didn't see it coming. And, I'm concerned about the music industry as a whole as well. I mean, definitely the healthcare industry is very important, but also, as a emerging artist, there's been some major changes in how, venues are conducting concerts, and there's been a lot of cancellations, and it's just been a big, huge change. And yeah. I didn't see it coming as an up and coming artist to feel like I don't know, if I can make it financially as a musician.
Not that it's already hard enough, right?
Yeah, it's already hard enough. Like, for instance, I'd have to invest a certain amount of money in gear that I would take to venues, to sing and have the speakers and the microphone and everything. Yeah. And something that I could carry. So I'm thinking about going with a Bose machine, but it's because I had a hernia, and I recently had the hernia surgery. So that went well. That was actually October 8th. And everything went well, but it was a slow recovery and everything. Right. But yeah, lifting heavy objects is hard, especially for a person of my size that's had a hernia, and I'm still technically recovering. Yeah. Because I did a no mesh surgery. So just, it's a slow recovery, and it takes a long time. But, luckily, the universe has blessed me with good luck on that side, and everything went well. But, moving forward, I don't know what is required at this given point in time for an up and coming musician to really make it. Hopefully the economy opens up again, and that there's looser regulations. But, of course, health and safety is so important. And of course, I don't want to jeopardize that. But hopefully, from my standpoint, from an up and coming artist standpoint, we would be able to make it financially. Hopefully that is going to happen, and hopefully luck is on our side that everything goes well in the future. So that right. I just think, there's a lot of people that, there's a lot of people at the bottom that, like, although they have a lot of talent, they haven't been signed to a major record label, so they don't have the benefits of, being run by a huge record label that has the financial backing to, rent a huge venue that allows for the huge, social distancing and all the other measures being taken, and just all the
distribution as well, right?
Placing of everything. And so I'm just like focusing on my singing and songwriting, and just hoping that in the future things will be more open, and just hoping that case numbers go down and all that too. Of course, all that is important. So
Now, the first time I ever heard you, you had a track on SoundCloud called 1-800-273-8255.
oh wow, you like that song?
I love that
Oh
song.
my gosh, yeah, I've had it hidden actually. That song, thank you very much. I want to thank you for being like a big fan of that song. That inspires me to keep writing songs like that. And it was inspired by Logic's song that is it's named the same. It's the suicide hotline,
Uh-huh.
suicide prevention hotline, that is. And so I don't know, you're aware of Logic, right? The rapper.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So he had a big time song back when I wrote that song. And yeah, there's just, a need for awareness of people that, are in that kind of a struggle, and that they need to know they're not alone, but that there's definitely a hotline for them, and that they should not, take their own life. A vast array of things, alcohol overdose, drug overdose, there's just a need for the awareness of the daily struggle of people with those struggles. Now, I am very fortunate that I've never had any substance abuse struggle. So I'm basically just singing and songwriting songs that I feel touch others. And a lot of times singing is like acting, in my opinion, or songwriting is a little bit like acting, in that, you're wearing the character of someone else and you sing, but that doesn't always mean that it's your actual own struggle, or if it, it's really that I'm just trying to, inspire people to think twice and not to, take their own life,
Right.
So.
Excuse me.
But thank you. I will unhide that song then if you like it. I felt a little.
Well, it's on the station.
Oh, it is? Oh, well.
Yeah, it's on
wonderful.
repeat.
Thank you. Oh, and people love it?
Well, there's no setup for them to respond to whether they do or not.
Oh, okay.
But I have seen, however, when the thing came out, a lot of comments made on the track was they were concerned about you.
Oh, concerned about me? Oh, okay.
Right. And
yeah, no,
I remember that.
Struggle. Yeah, I know. It's funny how, that's how singing and songwriting is. I don't have that actual struggle. So it's really me just, putting on the character of someone that may have this struggle and trying to inspire them to, call the hotline and.
Sure. And that's a real hotline.
As far as I know, yeah. I mean,
maybe not so much anymore, but
if you go on Google, there is a suicide prevention hotline, and I believe the title of my song should be that same number, unless it's been changed, unless the phone number has been changed recently. Sure. So, because I wrote that song back in 2017. So,
right.
Yeah, no, I've had my own life struggles. So I mean, I can always feel. I'm very empathetic, and I can feel for people. And I know I've heard that the statistics, I don't know for sure, but I've heard that the statistics for alcohol abuse are way up during this COVID era. And
yeah, I'm drinking right now.
Oh, wow. And maybe that's why this song, hopefully it's in moderation.
Yeah.
But, there is a need for the awareness for all these types of issues and daily struggles that a lot of people are in. And I am so happy to be, just a voice for or a vehicle for the awareness, and helping use my own platform to raise awareness. And that's all I can do. And thank my fans for enjoying the song. So so you're saying they were concerned for me. Well, they don't need to be.
Right.
So
the given that was like my first introduction to your work.
Okay.
And this is just me. I don't know to do this, but I just visualize in my head that, yeah, there's like, because your mind is a playground where you can just play around with ideas. Is I'm thinking like, Gigi Van is this, she's kind of like this disco queen with kind of gothy in a way, kind of glitter goth, synthy, um, a very dark type of turmoil type of character, who's just like been on a binge or something, like a club binge. She's trying to like, not necessarily like she's hiding behind the booze and the drugs and the glamour, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Have you looked at that kind of branding or that kind of like imagery with your stuff? Because a lot of your music, in fact, I safe to say all of your music has that kind of um, like seems like that kind of character would be the person expressing that.
Exactly. I think that is possibly how my branding should be. So if that's how you see me, I think you're probably right that I end up looking that way.
And again, I said, like, my brain is a playground, so I just like experiment with this stuff. Not to say that that's exactly, the way it is or that the way it should be.
Yeah, maybe it's because the club scene is usually going to involve some alcohol, but frankly, I'm quite the opposite. So it's just the illusion of that, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
what comes across and not on purpose. I just basically drink. If I ever drink, it's like one glass of red wine and I stop. I'm lucky I can stop. I stop.
Yeah.
And I haven't done any substances.
Excuse me. Sorry.
And I haven't even smoked a cigarette. I know I'm just like pretty much maybe the opposite of what I come across as. A lot of my photos right now have some bikini. I have some bikini photos. I have some dresses.
Yeah.
I have some kind of EDM looking clothing. Yeah, I think I've grown out. I started with like a love for EDM, and then I've kind of branched out to doing a little bit of other genres. But I'm gonna loop back and do some EDM again, and dance / club type music. So, for instance, the song that you brought up, that was potentially a club type of song with a dramatic theme, so to speak, and some dramatic lyrics.
Right.
So kind of pop style, but very like more overwhelmingly club. It's just pop in that, like Khalid and a lot of the top artists have the vocal synth. And even I think Taylor Swift has a song that has some vocal synth. So there's a lot of overlap. Like pop is a big genre that kind of does have some dancey type of song. So it's hard to always put your song in a box, but I think most of my songs are going to be, clubby pop or EDM-ish pop, something that's very dancey, but hopefully good enough to be considered also like more, what's the word? Less repetitious. Like for instance, a lot of EDM is very repetitious and has like less words, but I want to expand this and have my songs in more of an expansive category where it could be categorized as pop. So there's more of a changing up of verses, maybe telling a story with my song, and where it really goes somewhere and comes back and maybe even circles back to the beginning. So that my songs are more in the pop, a little bit more in the pop category than the dance / club category. But I love the merging of both and the ideas, the music of the club songs. So that's kind of where I'm at, is the synths and that, and the what's it called? Vocal synths are great. And kind of like the vocal effects that you hear a lot of echoing, this and that, kind of that gives that like dancey feel. So
like this feeling, for instance, when I heard that certainly has a dance feel to it, which is very offset on the rhythm, intentionally, no doubt, because I would imagine anybody who does that is very aware of the being locked into this standard beat that most people can't help but do. And the way that you do it is intentionally trying to set it off just enough to where it sounds off.
Thank you.
But it's still got that, with the beat, that rhythm, and then the melody fitting into it, it works. But and in fact, it increases the impact to it because, it stands out and it builds its own, it becomes its own thing. So when I heard that, I knew that's what you were doing. It's kind of like with, and I always refer to Trent Reznor's 9 Inch Nails project, or just Trent Reznor in general, because he's the producer's producer. He's the guy who, broke the mold on so many different formats, right? And he did a thing on Hesitation Marks, which is the song A Copy of a Copy. And the beat, the driving beat that goes through that intentionally is off, and it's never the same. The way that thing is designed, if you hear it, look here for it, and you're again, not to, we talked about being categorized and stuff, not to categorize you as a bedroom producer, but you know what I'm talking about when I say that. Mm-hmm. In that song, when you listen to it, him being a producer's producer, you can hear that he's forcing himself to play outside of the box that everybody's used to playing in. And it just creates like a completely different kind of like energy on it. And that's exactly what I felt with this track here. I also like the minimalism of Until the End of Time, where it's just the melody that you have with your voice. Then you have the crack of the thunder. Then you have the keyboard keys playing around it, not subtly, but minimal.
Yes, thank you. That song went semi-viral on SoundCloud, or sort of viral, because I got more than 10,000 plays on it.
Wow.
And thank you. I actually recorded it when there was thunder, and so basically that some of my vocals had thunder in the background, and so I basically had to add thunder throughout the song just to keep it as a tying theme and not to make it sound awkward. Because if there's just thunder like for the beginning or something, it did never fit. Nothing fit if I just left it the way it was. So I had to add the thunder throughout the rest of the song just so that it was smooth. And then it ended up being actually a good thing. It kind of reminded me of Lana Del Rey's style. And I was listening a lot of Lana Del Rey.
You and me both, girl.
Thank you. I'm a huge fan of Lana Del Rey. She has the most beautiful voice, and my range is actually quite similar. So it helps me study Lana Del Rey. And then surprisingly, my voice is also most similar to Gwen Stefani when I sing a lot of her songs. And so it's just, to me, it's like surprising how I can sing like kind of both styles in both ranges. But I think that I'm kind of like not as sultry. I don't have a naturally like sultry voice like Lana Del Rey, and she's just very famous for her gorgeous sultry voice. And mine is more brighter. So I can sing sad songs.
It's very vulnerable, is what I picked up on.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm just always going to sound different than Lana Del Rey, but I'm okay with that, I guess.
Yeah.
But I do love Summertime Sadness. So.
Yeah, I have the only one that I have, and I have heard those other albums, but the only one that where is it? Hold on.
Oh, you have her other albums?
I have only one of her albums.
Oh, probably Born to Die, if I would guess.
No.
You don't have that one? Oh, okay. Oh, you have the one after that? Okay.
It's the one that's got the blue velvet cover she does.
I never got that one. Oh darn. I do love that song, and when she sings it, it's just wow, so gorgeous.
Hold on, I'm sorry. I turned my head
wore
around.
Blue velvet.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Bluer than the velvet was the night sky. I think it goes like that.
No, keep doing it while I'm looking for it.
I don't know if you can hear me that well. I'll sing closer to the screen. So she wore blue velvet, bluer than the velvet was the night.
Boom, boom.
I know that. I always love like hearing that song, and then I ended up buying a blue velvet dress.
Oh yeah.
I heard that. Like specifically after hearing Lana Del Rey sing it, I was like, okay. Luckily, it didn't break the bank. It was like $19 or less.
Yeah.
In Palm Springs.
Paradise. That's what it is. Paradise.
Oh, it's called Paradise. Oh, okay. You know what? I need to get that one. And I think what it is like I kept seeing it as a vinyl.
That's the one I have. I have it on wax.
Oh, see, I don't know if she ever released it as a CD. So I have to look. Oh, good. Okay.
She did, but I wanted I'm going after records right now. So, in fact, specifically, and I kind of try to look into it to see if they have like colored vinyl because I want to get the limited releases. But I got the regular, black record. Cool. But my God, I love it. Just like, she's clearly a David Lynch fan. She makes no she doesn't hide that fact at all. And you see that in all of her work and stuff. And boy, does she pull it off.
I never knew that. Okay, so you said Dana Lynch? I should look that up. Okay, because then I'd be inspired by her.
David Lynch, the director David Lynch. Yeah.
Okay.
She's
yeah. Okay, so he's the one that wrote that song, probably.
No. Have you seen let me see. Have you watched Twin Peaks?
No.
Have you ever watched the movie Blue Velvet?
No. See, I'm really out of it then.
Let me go down the list here real quick. Let me see. I'm sure you've seen one of these. Have you seen Wild at Heart?
It sounds familiar.
You're in California, so you've probably seen Mulholland Drive.
I don't watch a lot of movies or TV.
Lost Highway.
No, I don't think I've heard. This is horrible. I've seen Suicide Squad. That's way off. I know.
The Elephant Man. Which one?
Suicide Squad is.
Oh, I love it.
It's okay.
Not the old one, not the first one. The new one is better.
Yeah, I like the first one. I haven't seen the new one. I still need to do that.
Oh, it's really, really good. In fact, I think they fixed it.
Okay, I better do that. That's on my bucket list.
The director, David Ayers, they kind of did the same thing. If you like Suicide Squad, then you probably know about Justice League and how everybody pushed to get the Snyder cut released, and it finally happened. So when you see both of those movies, the original Justice League and the new one, which is like 4 hours, you see a vast improvement of, you see a much better movie now than it was when it was originally released. They've been putting the same pressure on the director of David Ayers of the original Suicide Squad because he's got a director's cut that has more Joker stuff, but also because the studio interfered and wanted him to make their version of his story, it didn't turn out too good. I mean, it could have been a better movie is what I'm saying. You enjoy that movie is what I'm hearing you say, but it could be better. And he's got cuts to probably release a different version of that movie that's much better. At the same time, they came out with the new one, which is great. It's just hilarity ensues from all sides. And Birds of Prey, oh my God, before we even talked, I was listening to some...
Bless you.
Excuse me. I was listening to some of the Birds of Prey soundtrack. That movie is fun. Ethan, have you seen it?
I just saw a little snippet of it, but I just need to sit down and watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
I would probably watch it for the music if you're saying the music's awesome.
Oh, the music is great, and you would love it, but you would love the movie too. I think if you like that original Suicide Squad, there's no the natural path here for you to take is watch Birds of Prey, and they kind of the way that they wrote that movie, the way that they wrote that movie was basically to say bye bye to Joker
Wow.
because she's not with him anymore, and it's an all girl movie. But Ewan McGregor, if you like him, I've never seen this guy have so much fun being a villain on screen. What a blast this guy's having. One of my favorite movies, hands down.
I know. Me too.
To think that we started with David Lynch and now we're here at Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I know. And to tie things together, I think Summertime Sadness, they say the theme is about suicide, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
So I guess that's for an interview with Lana Del Rey.
There's on Paradise, she's got a track on there where she basically, and there's a music video for it. If you look for it, you've probably seen it, where she's basically living life with bikers, and she's kind of like a free, like I wouldn't say like a hooker, but she openly sings about it, where she's like, you know, fuck me hard or something like that, and it's just like very road movie kind of like thing that I kind of connected with David Lynch in the sense of, if you watch David Lynch movies, it's going to freak the shit out of you because the subject matter, for one, it's not very straightforward on what you're seeing. You're confused on what you're seeing. It's very blatantly in your face, but there's also a very artistic kind of impulse throughout the whole thing. And there's it's kind of like, it's gritty in a way. It's spooky, it's almost horror. And it's actually a thing. I mean, this guy's been making movies since the late 70s, and they're all art movies that have this kind of like layer of darkness that nobody can do but him. So he's got a cult following, and Lana Del Rey is certainly a fan. And the way that she portrays her music is all connected to Lynch. Like, she totally loves Lynch.
Yeah, I better research some of his movies and watch some. That'd be fun.
I would say for you, Blue Velvet, certainly check that out, and you'll get a nice chunk of the kind of stuff you're going to be getting into when you watch that thing, and then you'll see the Lana Del Rey connection, I think.
Thank you. And yeah, I mean, tying oh bless you, tying the theme together of Lana Del Rey and EDM is like, I feel like that there should be a merging of kind of this old vintage, beautiful, you know, style of wearing the dresses and the beautiful hair and you know, the beautiful jewelry, and kind of merging that with you know, EDM and kind of clubby synthy music. So, and I know Summertime Sadness did a beautiful job at that, but I wish there was more of that, where Lana Del Rey songs were remixed with some more dancey tunes or melody. I do know, I think she has one other song, I think it's called Young and Beautiful, that was remixed really beautifully. And I've heard that on like an EDM station. But other than that, like I do love, you know, I definitely love her old vintage style. I just think that there can be a merging of that, the old and the new, and kind of bring in this like, you know, the elegant old days type vintage dresses and big hair with the
we're talking like 50s merged in with EDM kind of thing.
I believe so. And I think like some of it was 60s style dresses and her big beautiful like beauty queen hair and you know, jewelry. And like
you talked about the character that you're portraying. Your music is basically out there, and as I established, there's kind of like this image that I have of this character that you're playing, Um, you're looking at doing different things away from EDM and then returning to EDM. Do they all have an underlayer of darkness, and where does that come from? Where you talked about the 1-800 song, where an advocate for suicide prevention, and of course it is somewhat dark. It's not, an uplift, not necessarily a I mean, you could probably explain it differently to me, but my initial response is that, or my initial view on that is, what I'm hearing is like it's a dark uh, approach to the advocacy that you're trying to establish.
Yeah.
Is that you're aware of that for sure, certainly, right?
Right. I think that a lot of my inspiration has come from just kind of like the knowledge of that we're all gonna die eventually, and kind of
We are?
the
No.
sad truth that we all die, that great things come to an end, and that
Yeah.
really, really bad things happen to great people. It's horrible. But hopefully, hopefully there's a silver lining, that there is a rainbow, and beautiful ending, to most people's, I don't know what to say. And in the spiritual world, I think I've studied a lot of spirituality, and kind of like just kind of hoped that, I know there is a God, and just like I hope that, karma evens everything out when bad things happen to certain people, and just kind of this study of the balance of the universe, and the hope that, everything gets better for people that have had really bad struggles, and the sad truth that certain people get cancer, and that certain people have substance abuse, really bad addictions that they can't get out of very easily, and that they've gone through a lot of struggles. I just feel like I feel for the people that have had struggles. I have studied it just by knowing and being aware that all these struggles are out there, all these bad things are out there, that there's darkness to the world that needs to come to light. And I think that my music is a platform for that. And a lot of people's music is a platform for that. And specifically, I've studied Lana Del Rey's music. A lot of her songs have melancholy as a major theme. And there is, death, and the kind of just the dark sides of life are brought to light. And I feel that I'm doing a similar thing, although my voice is vastly different than Lana Del Rey's. I definitely have a brighter voice though. And I'm also looking towards more happy music, and kind of music that's good. Kind of like breakup songs is my next. I have a new song that's going to be like a breakup song that has a happy, very happy melody. And so it'll be very ripe for a great EDM, like remix, or maybe a Skrillex kind of style dubstep remix. And kind of like a lot of his music. I think a lot of the best music, honestly, even Skrillex or Linkin Park, is where they kind of merge the dark with the beautiful angelic melodies, and kind of bring them together. And you've got this like merging of the two things, and it becomes a beautiful masterpiece. And that's what I hope for with my music, is that I bring the dark things to light, but I also do it in a beautiful way, and that I inspire people and uplift them, hopefully too. But yes, you're right. In the end, some songs are not uplifting. They're actually just kind of, and it'll just increase. Some of those songs just increase the awareness of the dark sides of music. I mean, the dark sides of the world, and music that can portray the dark sides of the world is what I meant to say. And so I think, yes, in the end, like music writing is kind of where you start with an idea and it takes you wherever, and you don't always have an endpoint in mind. And so the end result can sometimes be the opposite of uplifting. And I'm sorry, that's probably why I hid that song for a while, is because I felt like it was sad and a little rough around the edges. Like, that, I would have, if I did it again, I would have, made it a little more angelic, or just kind of helped the melody out with a little more of a uplifting, happy melody maybe.
Yeah.
But it just the funny thing is, like, it just doesn't go together sometimes. Like, for instance, a happy melody with a really sad theme doesn't match. And so then it's like a lot of us musicians, we go back to the drawing board, because you can't always merge a happy melody with a sad theme and expect it to make sense. Because like a happy melody, for instance, is usually a lot of major chords and a lot of major,
Yeah.
not minor, right? Minor is dark, right? So if you
Yeah.
write the whole song in like major and it's all happy and it sounds kind of like Depeche Mode's I Just Can't Get Enough or something, and then you try to like change the words to something about suicide, it doesn't go, right? So
Yeah.
it's like, I think there's like it's an art, and it's hard. It's hard to be a great songwriter, but I just know I'm on the journey of trying to get better, and I know that, yeah, it's all about doing what fits together, and a lot of times, yes. And so mixing the melancholy minor type of melodies with a kind of downer type of theme will come out to probably a very depressing song, but hopefully it at least raises awareness. And to me, that can help,
Yeah.
And it kind of, I think music is the most powerful way of communicating, because when you take a melody that has its own mood to it, right? Sad, like a sad mood, for instance, can be an example. And then you add to it the theme and the story you're trying to portray. You can more powerfully, I mean, convey your message. And I think also, like, for instance, screenwriters and putting together a movie is a similar art, because sometimes their job is to put the best song in the background for this one scene of a movie, and without that song, the scene doesn't mean the same thing at all. So the music even to a movie is another way of like more powerfully conveying the mood of the scene and the message trying to be portrayed. So